Doesn't this mean anything to you?
Oh, yes. Lots of nibblies for everyone. Get all the nice man's honey. Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is the worst movie I've ever seen. No shadow of a doubt. It tops everything except maybe Goat Story, because that's just in a league of its own. But aside from that, it tops everything on this channel. My lord, is this film awful. So without further ado, this is Tony Hawk in Boom Boom Sabotage, the movie. So, set in Lincolnville, USA, the film starts off with some backstory about this terrifying looking ringleader called Grimly. Basically, him and his cousin ran a really successful circus for 25 years, but then his cousin became mayor, decided this is old, and then set it on fire.
No more crummy circus!
It wasn't insurance fraud, because they don't get any financial gain from it. It's like half an insurance fraud. You just set your house on fire, and now you are homeless. That's what happens to all the performers, and they're all left homeless and out of a job. And this is Grimly's apparently evil motivation for the film, which from a viewer's perspective really isn't that evil. This guy worked 25 years for the circus, built it up to where it was, and his cousin decides, this is old, I'm going to set it on fire, makes him homeless, and then himself becomes a powerful and rich mayor. As far as supervillains go, that's really understandable, although he does try and kill a child, so that is a bit cheeky. So Grimly does a motivational speech, along with some truly repulsive visuals.
Convenience and false plan.
And another look at just how creepy he is to look at. The opening credits then roll for about 5 minutes. They're way too long, and we immediately see Grimly again. I mean, a big problem with this movie is all the scenes are disjointed, like they just don't belong together. It's all so confused. Anyway, Grimly is outside this building to see his cousin the mayor, like I mentioned at the start, to get his circus back because, you know, he set it on fire. And he tries to reason with him and pull at his heartstrings by showing him his 6th toe. And I'm not joking, it's disgusting.
This mean anything to you?
Oh, yes. Lots of nibblies for everyone. Get all the nice man's honey. Oh, yes.
Right, so after that, we cut to the main characters skating, and they find out that Tony Hawk's coming to town. And then we cut back to Grimly with his conversation with the mayor, so what was the point in that scene in between? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the mayor tells him they're not family anymore, and Grimly has this weird animated scene where he goes from Misery Lake to Rage Island, lava erupts from his toenail, and then they chase each other around the office. After a Few Good Men reference,
I want Thursday night.
You can't handle Thursday night!
we finally get some skateboarding. Finally. And we're introduced to the main characters, well, 2 of them at least. Frank, an old Air Force veteran, and Switch Bitch.
Still having trouble with that trick, huh, Switch Mitch?
His name's actually Mitch, but they pronounce it Bitch the whole movie. So, Frank says his old pal Tony Hawk is coming to town to see the skate park.
He's supposed to be coming over here to check out the layout of the Civic.
And Switch Bitch is like, oh no, he's not. He's just going to turn up and say, oh, Frank, my old buddy, is he?
Yeah, as if. Like Tony Hawk is gonna come here to see his old buddy Frank.
Frank! Old buddy! Here we go!
Nothing funny. Ridiculous laugh.
So we get introduced to more characters. Cud, Kit, Sage,
Switch Mitch.
and Jesse. Don't bother learning any of their names, they mostly do bugger all the whole film. After this, we then cut back to Grimly again, because, you know, God knows we haven't had enough of him so far. And a big problem with the scenes with him, especially, they just don't make any sense. Like, a man gets hit in the head with a hammer, someone gets shot out of a cannon, and then his right-hand man, he's projecting some powerful food fight vibes, really. He gets thrown into the air and becomes a rainbow. What does this have to do with the story? Bugger all. Absolutely nothing. So the next scene is at this rehearsal thing for whatever Tony's doing in town. And I'm going to say this, there's a skate scene. There's loads of really long skate scenes in this film. And they're only added simply because it's a skate movie, and that may sound stupid, but what it means is they never actually add anything to the story. What happens is there's a weak-ass storyline that gets progressed, and then in between there's like 2 to 3 minute skate scenes, just to remind you that you're watching a movie about skateboarding, then rinse and repeat. You could actually remove the skateboarding entirely from this movie, and it would pan out the exact same way. So Tony just fucking dies after he misses a trick. His mates make fun of him for being too old, and he goes to try again, and it's at this point in the film where it's all mysterious. It's like, because Tony doesn't come back out from behind the half pipe. So they're like, oh, it's mysterious. What happened to Tony? I don't care. He gets kidnapped by Grimley. I mean, it's in the very next scene. There's no build-up whatsoever. And the actual story dialogue in this scene takes a backseat to the nonsensical dialogue that plagues this entire film.
On one two-part episode, the show's uber-cool hero jumped a shark in water skis while wearing a leather jacket. Can you imagine that, Mr. Hawk? Jumping a shark in a leather jacket. Leather! Tight!
Like, what does this have to do with anything? Does it progress the story? No. Does it come up later? No. He just says that and leaves.
Leather! Tight!
Now, I've added this in post, but apparently the cage Tony's been held in was used in Happy Days when a man jumps over a shark in a cage, and that's an actual thing when the character Fonzie jumps a shark wearing leather, and that's the reason for the leather comment. But that scene is from 1977, and I guarantee you that 99.9% of people who were watching this in 2006 weren't old enough to get a 29-year-old reference, so why add it in the movie at all? Right, so after this, apparently no one else is looking for Tony, it's just the children, no one else is worried at all. They see the kids looking for him by asking one of his friends in a very tasteless Titanic-themed hotel, and he doesn't know, and he makes a very self-aware joke.
He's always getting hauled off here and there to things he doesn't like doing. Press junkets, voice records for lame animated features.
Like, oh, they knew it was shit, and they still made it. I guess money talks, I suppose. So the kids leave, and the villain shows up right away, and have a guess at what scene they're trying to recreate. That's right, it's The Shining, complete with room 237. The fact this is added in a way that doesn't integrate at all to the story makes me angry. Like, they didn't even use the Overlook Hotel. They used a very tasteless Titanic-themed hotel, and inside it's like The Shining. It just makes no sense. So they kidnap DJ, Tony's friend, by knocking him in the balls with a boxing glove.
Yeah.
Funny, I don't get it. But before they can get away sneakily, the kids, who are in the middle of another obligatory skating montage, spot DJ getting kidnapped with their camera.
That DJ? Yeah. Who are the creeps tossing him around?
Now, what I find strange is that they see him being kidnapped on camera. Like, he gets chucked into the van on camera, and then it cuts away to real life, and he's being chucked into the van again, off camera. So they took him out of the van and threw him in again? Or it's one of those rare time travel cameras that can see things before they happen. Or it's just hideous attention to detail. And the fact it's such an easy thing to fucking fix makes me cross. Just switch the clips around and then it makes sense.
Yeah. Who are the creeps tossing him around?
So the kids chase the van as it drives off, and Jesse jumps on the truck while it's driving away. He's soon caught and the people shake him off.
Get the hell off my camera!
Is he dead? He should be dead. That should have killed any normal person. Anyway, a rather large issue with the movie is that the whole motive for the villain is he wants his circus back and to be successful again. But he's actively committing crimes that will guarantee it closes down. His whole plan is very flawed. After this, we pick up with Tony and the other 2 skaters that went missing, who have been kidnapped, and there's some absolutely stellar dialogue here.
Ooh, smells like pee-pee and poo-poo in here.
Ha ha ha, funny.
Seriously, why does it smell like caca and wee-whiz in here?
We see the villains, again, doing something weird.
Nice strap on.
Like, why is he strapped to him? Why? He just jumps right off and nothing ever comes of it. And I do find this scene a bit funny, gonna admit, where they show the skaters a scooter and they all freak out, because if you've ever been to a skate park, then you'll know that scooters are the antichrist at the skate park, and I know that because I scooted as well.
No! Anything but that!
And I'm going to be clear here, I only find it amusing because it's playing on my nostalgia, and that's it. The movie itself is not funny. So there's more unnecessary skating scenes until we think something important is about to happen. Just have a look at this.
Look!
Like, there's intense running, intense music. Have they found Tony? No. They're going to do more skating for 5 more minutes. Anyway, more non-plot point things happen. Like, they find some gangster clowns going through a storm drain.
So jump!
Switch Bitch has some stellar dialogue.
Oh yeah! Those are some mad beats, yo!
And then the next actual thing to develop the plot is when they find Tony being harassed by the circus clown man. And he's in a turkey suit riding a scooter. So the kids plan a spontaneous rescue. And then everything just goes off the rails. Cud rescues Tony, who's trapped in a cage. And they have a car chase. They end up on a Hot Wheels type track. And then they seemingly die. Switch Bitch ends up with the gangster clowns again and has a dance off while they use the hydraulics on their car.
Those are some sick wheels, yo!
And this kid is chased by a clown car that has demon monkeys where the engine should be.
Oh my god. Oh. Fuck this movie so much. You go fuck it.
Right, then the show happens. Lots of insane things happen that are equally hard to explain as the previous things. The bad guy gets caught, he goes to jail, surprisingly enough, because he committed kidnapping and attempted murder. And then the show happens, and then they all live happily ever after in Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Sabotage. This movie's terrible. I don't know what to say. Is it really that bad? Yes, it is that bad. The plot makes no sense. The villain's plan is flawed from the start. You can't just commit crimes like attempted murder and kidnapping and expect to keep running a business. Random references are there, they don't make sense. However, the worst thing is that skateboarding is the least important part of this film. It's used as random filler, and like I said, you could take it out entirely and the film would play out exactly the same. The dialogue is all awful, the quality's terrible. And it's the worst animated film I've ever seen, except Goat Story. This is the reigning king of this channel so far. I imagine this is something Tony Hawk looks back on and he just does not think this was a good career move. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. But it won't be as bad as this one, I swear.